Let's bring in federal trial attorney Alexis Rosenberg, who is standing by watching this case with us. And Alexis, I want to go back to, we just heard from Cheyenne's father, but the father of Jasmine earlier spoke, Billy LaFontaine, and he said he wanted to hear her say not just that she was pleading guilty, he wanted to hear her say, I murdered my daughter. Your thoughts on these victim impact statements?
I mean, it's just a horrible situation. I think Cheyenne's father really hit it on the head. There are no words to explain the pain that she's caused to everyone, as well as, how is this possible? What was going through her head? And it was so planned out. It's not one child, it's two. When she was researching it, it really, truly is disturbing. And I agree with him. There's really no other word than monster.
Monster for sure, evil. We're going to hear that word a lot during these victim impact statements. 7 years, Alexis, they've had to wait for the system to play out, but even longer when we think about Cheyenne's death. And looking at just the police reports and the details that investigators found, they were suspicious, but not enough to hold her. They saw carpet imprints on the baby's nose. They thought they saw some vomit on the floor. They couldn't get confirmation from the medical examiner, who determined that the first baby's death was undetermined but possibly suffocation. What do you think else could have been done in that interim between 2015 and 2017 once this woman became a mother again?
Well, I mean, that's hard. There is a process. She does have constitutional rights. We would have hoped maybe they would have initially reported the situation to Children and Family, but there's no other child. So it doesn't seem like when the second child was born again that somehow she was not in the system anymore. I mean, I'm not really seeing that, unfortunately, there was anything that they could have done at that point.
We are going to get to a break. Alexis, thank you for that analysis. We're going to keep watching this sentencing hearing play out. We'll hear more of those victim impact statements after this short break. Sentence. Let's bring back in trial attorney Alexis Rosenberg, who's been watching all of this play out there in Alaska. And Alexis, there's an added part of this that I don't know if it's going to come up in front of this judge, but we know from the sentencing memorandum in this case that there were many allegations that she harmed animals just prior to harming her children, that animals that belonged to Billy LaFontaine, to other romantic partners that she had, that their dog or cat would end up missing after she told them that she should probably get rid of them. Even Billy LaFontaine, apparently his parents had a tank with fish in it, and she didn't think they needed to move with the fish. They said, no, our kids love the fish. And they left her in the room with the fish for a couple of minutes, and all the fish died because of lighter fluid in the tank. I mean, it's hard to imagine that it gets more sinister than killing two kids. But can you talk about the aggravating factors here, and if there's any hope that the judge will have any kind of a downward departure?
I definitely do not think there's going to be any downward departure here whatsoever. I mean, there's a lot of aggravating factors, like you said, the animals, as well as these searches. I mean, the fact that she's searching right before to this extent, or any extent, but to this extent, I really think that the judge is going to give her the maximum that he can possibly give her. I mean, there's really no explanation for this other than there's got to be some sort of mental illness. There just are no words for, like, we keep throwing around that word evil that we are seeing in this case.
Yeah, when it comes to explanation, Alexis, these fathers have asked for answers, one in particular saying, just tell us why when you get the chance to speak. Do you think that we may hear something like that from her? This is unique, not unique in terms of plea hearings, but cases we have here on Court TV, a lot of them are sentencings where someone's been convicted and they may be able to appeal later. Here we've got a plea deal. Do you think she could tell more than we typically hear?
We have to hope that she'll give that to the family. They definitely deserve some sort of explanation, even though it's not going to make this better. So we're going to hope that she'll get up and give them some sort of explanation. But let's be truthful here. Is there really any sort of explanation for these actions at all?
You're very right. No answer that we're going to get inside of that courtroom is going to make anyone say, oh, I get it now. There's absolutely no excuse. But you could tell those fathers just pleading in their hearts for more information on perhaps what led to this, what her motivation could have been. Alexis Rosenberg, thank you so much for your legal analysis this hour. We do have to get to a break.